Hello. Happy Saturday. Saturday, yes. Okay. Happy Saturday. I'm going to do a quick little Q&A. I do have a phone call tonight, so I won't be on here too long. But just baby hairs. Just for a little bit, answering some questions. So, yeah. Whatever questions you guys have, let me know. I may end up doing my makeup. Probably not. We'll see what happens. I'll probably just stay barefaced. But yeah, what's up, guys? Is it Profile Firmer? Hello, Basson Jigs. Hello, Raymer, Gary. What's up? S Shake 2000. How do you stay motivated? So motivated, I don't stay motivated. Point blank, period. No one stays motivated all the time. Motivation is fleeting. It only is momentary. It comes and goes. It's always going to be just short term. You know, you may wake up super motivated one day and the next day you don't. So you can't rely on motivation. Of course, it helps in certain moments to, give you a boost, but it's not going to be what gets the work done. What happens is building the habits, having the discipline to be able to stay on track. That is what keeps you going, not motivation. So being able to have something that's sustainable that you can actually stick to, building the habits within that is how you're going to be able to make progress. So that's how I've made progress. Is it Clown Muga? Hola. Desde Chile. Hello. Very cool. Hello from the U.S. Are you UFC style fighting women? I don't fight. No. And I don't watch UFC either. GA1773. Hello, Michael. Hi from Kima, Texas. Hello from Ohio. What age are you? I am 27. So yeah, let me know what questions you guys have, training, nutrition related, anything. So, what's up, guys? Canto. Don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm English speaking, so if that's in another language, I'm so sorry. I wish I knew what that meant. Yeah, I don't wrestle people. I don't fight and I don't wrestle. Only person I would wrestle would be my husband. Do you eat mushrooms? Yeah, I cook mushrooms pretty regularly. It's one of my favorites to incorporate into my meals just because I feel like it matches a lot of foods. So I love zucchini, love mushrooms, broccoli. I love all veggies, but mushrooms I feel like match with everything. So, Lydia, hello, do you speak Spanish? I wish. I'm so sorry. I don't. A lot of people assume that I do. A lot of people assume that I am from a Spanish-speaking country, but I'm not. I don't speak Spanish. I wish I knew it. I would love to learn. Like, I love learning languages, and that's something that is one of my goals is actually... So I'm half Japanese. One, I want to become fluent in Japanese again, and two, I would love to learn Spanish because I did take French for a long time, and I do speak a little bit still. I used to be quite fluent in it, but it's been so long since I've used it frequently. So I know I could pick that back up quickly, and I know I can pick back up Japanese pretty quickly. But I love to learn Spanish. I feel like it'd be way more useful for me based on, just the amount of people in my area and also the amount of people who follow me who speak it. So, anyway, I'm sorry. Mind, Body, Health, Live, or Live. How much water do you drink daily? I drink about a gallon daily. You don't need to drink that much, but I drink a gallon daily. DS Jumbo, what is your weekly workout routine, such as chest and triceps, back and biceps? So I don't do a bro split, just mostly because some people can train all their muscle groups enough times if they do that, but usually not. I train 4 days a week. I do an upper-lower split. But I have a structured training program that I wrote for myself specifically, so it's custom to me, so it may not help others. How to improve performance and develop your abs. Training your abs, targeting them in isolation, actually targeting them specifically, but also you're going to need to be making sure that you're bracing your core properly when you're doing any other form of lift, any other compound lift. But honestly, like the Your abs and how they look are going to be dependent on your build genetically. Some people have more narrow or wide, or some people have much blockier ones. Some people, everyone's built, mine are asymmetrical, so they're kind of staggered. Everyone's abs look different, so don't strive to have your abs look like someone else's when you're working on that. I also don't recommend focusing on one body part, and I do have a recent caption about this. It's a picture of me with my hair in a ponytail and I'm wearing a black short sleeve top. It's not a side-by-side picture. It's just a picture of just one picture of me. It's pretty recent. And that caption, I go pretty deep into why you shouldn't focus on one body part, because everyone leans out from different areas at different paces. In terms of improving performance, depends on what that means to you. So if you can be more specific, I'd love to help. What kind of fitness do you do? Not really sure what that quite means. The more specific you are, the more that I can help. But I mean, I guess you could say I'm a coach. So if that's what you're referring to in terms of what I do in fitness industry, I'm an online coach. Specifically, most importantly to me is that I help people in terms of understanding the truth about nutrition, because a lot of people are misinformed about what matters and what doesn't, what's necessary, what's actually sustainable for them. It's individual to the person. So for me, that's like my main goal, is to help people reach their goals, fitness-wise and just life-wise, especially with improving their relationship with food. That's my main goal. But I also, I love writing training programs. That's like one of my favorite things. So that's one of my favorite parts of coaching. Wickens Photos, hello. What's your favorite color? I love turquoise, teal, mint, anything in that family. Pretty much this lipstick right here, like this is the epitome of my favorite color. Like this is exactly my favorite color. It's pretty much why I bought this lipstick. It is actually one of the best lipsticks, but I love that packaging. You're gorgeous. Well, thank you. Leela, Jessica, hello. Have you ever tried keto? Yeah, I have done it before, but I don't recommend it for most people because it's not sustainable. I mean, some people, that's their way of life. Totally respect everyone's decisions individually, but I just think people go into it misinformed. Cantonese, Japanese. Cantonese, that's pretty specific. Like as in like a region. Do you train morning or night? What suits you better? So, I mean, that's personal preference and based off your schedule. For me personally, I train in the afternoon. That's when I feel my best. That's me. My husband, he prefers to train in the evening. That's his favorite. And then I have friends and clients who prefer to train in the morning. So it's whatever you're going to be most consistent with and whatever you feel best training. Omer, what happened with iPhone Apparel? It's still there, just not our focus right now. We're focusing on coaching. We do still make apparel. We do still sell it. We're just not focusing on the promo of it. What's your favorite animal? I love dogs. I love dogs so much. So, dogs. Pablo, appreciate the heart eyes. Fave cheat meal. I don't do cheat meals and I don't recommend doing cheat meals. I don't recommend labeling foods as cheat because it's not your partner. It's not a relationship. It's not a game. You're not cheating on anything. Your nutrition, like it just creates a really negative connotation around food. And especially if you're having just one cheat meal or like where you splurge and you eat thousands of calories, like why? Why do that to yourself? You can just eat those foods. There's no reason to make them off limits because the more that you do that, the more that you create this like cycle of restriction and overeating, and that can literally lead to disordered eating and actual eating disorders, as opposed to being like, you know, food isn't good or bad. Moderation is key. Portion sizes are key. If you tell yourself that you can't have something, then the forbidden fruit mindset principle comes in and you're like, The more that you can't have it, the more that you want it, the more that you're going to overeat. And instead of having a couple slices of pizza, you eat a whole box of pizza, a whole tub of ice cream, a whole thing of Oreos, and then you feel like shit, you feel guilty, and the next day you're trying to undo it. No. And especially for people who aren't totally aware of like the processes of fat loss or muscle gain, they may freak out when they see that weight spike the next day, thinking that it's true weight gain when it's not. It's water weight, and then that can lead them to thinking they need to do more cardio, etc., restricting more calories. So instead, I just recommend eating those things in moderation on occasion, because if you tell yourself you're allowed to have it, you're only going to want to have it when you actually want to have it, instead of like thinking about food all the time and looking forward to that cheat meal and then like feeling like shit afterwards. Mr. Chicago, appreciate the thumbs up. It's your favorite movie. So I don't have one favorite. That's funny, I get asked this actually pretty often nowadays. I can't pick one. I have multiple. I'm more of a comedy person. So I love Will Ferrell movies. I love Ben Stiller. I pretty much love like all the classics of their movies from like the 2000s and late 90s. So Zoolander is one of them. I love Anchorman. And also Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart. Love that movie. But a non-comedy, American Psycho with Christian Bale, because he's one of my favorite actors. Ayatal, hello. Valerie, what's up? In addition to the caloric deficit, cardio is vital to lower body fat. No, it's not. It's a helpful tool, but you don't need to incorporate it. Of course, I mean, it's going to be good for your overall heart health. So it's not going to hurt you to have it in there. But it's not absolutely necessary, because cardio is part of that calorie deficit equation. So a calorie deficit is not just coming from what you're eating. It's including everything. It's energy balance, meaning not just your input, but also your output, which is your exercise. So that's also including your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which refers to anything from walking and going grocery shopping, taking your dog for a walk, playing with your children, etc. Like all of that activity. A lot of times people don't pay much attention to that, so they may be super sedentary. So then they're trying to make up for it by doing tons of cardio, when they could also just increase their daily activity to help with that too. What's your favorite kind of music? I get this question too. So The Weeknd is my favorite musical artist ever, hands down, of all time. Always has been since I was a little baby freshman in college. Always will be. That's pretty much all I need to know about my musical taste. Hello, Bella. So you count macros. Yep. Feeling guilty as fuck. That's very true. Yes, that's what happens. And you don't want to have that, because then in the long term, it's like say if you don't have children already, just if you think about it, and if you don't want to have children, totally respect that too. But sometimes it helps to put it in perspective, as if you think about, or even if you have nieces or nephews, just like thinking about, like, say, like, would you want them to also think that they're not allowed to have those things? Like if you think back to when you're a kid and you have like a pizza party at school, like you ate till you were satisfied. Like maybe there were times, like if your parents were really strict about what they fed you, maybe you went overboard, but like, you know, it was fun, it was enjoyable, and you weren't like so focused on the food. You're like having fun eating the pizza and also being with like your friends. And like that's how like food is also we like when people compare eating to being like your body is a machine, I'm like, bro, we're not machines. Like we're human, we're not robots. Like food is a way to express love, especially in many cultures, like holidays. Like you literally express love through baking and cooking for other people. Like people gather around. Like, do you want to have a negative connotation around that, where, you know, in the presence of the people that you love, like instead of, you know, being present and actually enjoying your time with those people, you're like thinking so much about like, oh my God, like I'm so glad like this one day that I can just like blow it and eat everything in sight. So yeah. Michael, thanks for taking time out of your day to answer our questions. We appreciate your time. Well, I appreciate that from you. Thank you. John, you changed your name from John Solo. I love your perspective on cheat meals. You are fit as well as wise. Kudos. Thank you. Appreciate it. Right, you're right. What is life asking you to do differently? What is life asking me to do differently? Is this like a real deep question about like what I feel like I like self-reflection wise, like what I need to do differently, like going forward? Am I misunderstanding this? How do I go about tracking vodka on MyFitnessPal? So depends on how you're tracking. So if you're tracking for just say calories, just search vodka and just track it as it is. But if you're tracking for your fats and your carbs and your protein, if you're tracking your like specific macros, then I would type in vodka and then followed by fats or carbs, whatever you're going to count it towards. In most cases, I recommend my clients, if they're going to be tracking it towards macros and not calories, if you're going to track it towards your macros, I would recommend tracking it towards your carbs, just because this is anecdotal. That doesn't mean you have to do it this way. You could totally track it as fats. Most people feel like shit if they don't eat enough fats and they drink a lot. The next day, they're like, oh my God. It's like the worst hangover. Just when they've tried tracking it as fats to be able to eat more carbs. So I would usually just recommend tracking it as calories, and like you're still going to be within range, you're fine. But otherwise, if you're going to track it towards your macros, I would usually lean on carbs. If you type vodka carbs, it will have actually like translated the calories into the number of grams of carbs that it would count as. Ruki, hello. What's your favorite food, Getty? There's so many. Pretty much anything my mom makes. She's like insane. Like I always joke with her, she needs to start a restaurant. Like my entire family jokes with her that she should. She lacks the confidence to do that. But she, like, I know people think that their mom is like a great cook, and I'm sure there are plenty of people with moms who are great cooks. But I'm telling you, my mom would definitely have like a 5-star restaurant. But that's tough. I don't think I could pick one. But one of them would definitely be katsu. So if you haven't had katsu before at a Japanese restaurant, highly recommend it. I mean, it's pretty much everybody would love it. It's like, it's fried meat. And like the sauce that goes with it is what is unique to it, I would say. Yeah. Honestly, that's like one of my favorites. I love sushi, but like the way that we do it is we like make it ourselves at home. Like with my mom, like she gets the sashimi, she makes the sushi rice, and we make it ourselves. And my favorite to go on the sushi is ikura, which is salmon roe. And I know a lot of people are iffy about it because of the texture, because it like pops in your mouth. They're like they're fish eggs. But it's my favorite. It's been my favorite since I was a kid, and nobody else in my family really likes it that much, but I do. So whenever it's my birthday, they always get me that specifically. So, you choose. All right, Darren. Well, it was the question about what is life asking you to do differently? Being more confident, 100%, I would say. I mean, it's gotten better, but I do have a tendency to not stand up for myself at times out of a lack of confidence at times. I'm definitely way more confident than I used to be, but, sometimes I like tell myself in my head that my feelings don't matter, and don't express them. So, yeah. Do you have a sister? No, but I do have an older brother. I love your perspective on it, and you. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. Do you like to arm wrestle? No, I used to do that in high school, though, at like lunchtime, I remember. Patricia, hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful to you, too. I might change my name back. Thought I'd try my actual last name, but I did think John Solo was cool. It is cool. I love puns. I think puns are great, so. It's your favorite sport. So I don't watch sports. I really don't enjoy watching it. I will say I really love to play tennis. I didn't play tennis like in high school or middle school or anything, but I really enjoy playing it like in the summertime for fun. But I was a runner, long distance runner, pretty much like most of my life, and a cheerleader, and I also did dance as a little kid. So I love to dance, but I don't know if you'll count that as a sport. And I like to watch gymnastics when it comes to like Olympics. So, yeah. Ben, hello. Is it Sidiona? I'm so sorry if I totally butchered your name. Although I exercise constantly, my abs is sagging. How can I improve? So, one, I want to clarify constantly, because you don't want to be exercising like too much. There is too much as well. And then in terms of sagging, what do you mean by that? Is it, I mean, I don't believe it's like your muscle, right? Like are you talking about like loose skin, or, is it post-baby, or did you have rapid weight loss or extreme weight loss where you lost like a lot of weight? Those kinds of things can impact it. But if I can know more detail, I can help more. Hisham, hello. It's almost 9, wow. Dripped on my lap. Well. Oy. So yeah, whatever questions you guys have, let me know. Sorry, I cracked my knuckles. Celeste, hello, how are you? So, let me know what other questions you guys have. I feel like it's getting a little quiet now. I know it's a Saturday night, so happy Chinese New Year. Or to be more accurate, I believe, because it's celebrated in multiple Asian cultures, I think it is. It's Happy Lunar New Year. But yes, Happy New Year. Our perspective on cooking being an experience is awesome. So many interesting studies demonstrate better socialization, self-esteem, and quality of life. Can you flex for me? So I get this question in almost every live stream, and every time I have the same answer. I don't do it on request because it makes me feel awkward and uncomfortable, and it's not something that I do on demand. Like, I'm super like happy about doing it after I work out, and I do it on my own accord because I feel good and I want to take a picture, and I'm like, yeah. But I don't do it on demand. Thank you for the self-tanner recommendation. I love it. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. Yay. I literally just rinsed mine off like an hour ago, so I'm feeling pretty good. I like right after I apply, I'm like tan and glowy for the day. For the week, really. But I'm so glad you love it. It's honestly, it's the best one I've had, like by far. It's the best. Oh, my husband's in here. DS Jumbo, you said earlier you split up your upper and lower body parts per workout. How many exercises do you do for each body part? So that, in terms of how you split that up, in terms of how many exercises you do for each body part, it's going to depend on what your muscle group emphasis is. So the most important thing, instead of really within each training session, is your total week in total. Same thing goes with like nutrition. It's not about what you do like all like squished into one day, but it's really about how you spread it out over the course of the week. So if you're doing a little bit more exercises for glutes compared to the other muscle groups, but realistically what you're wanting to look at is that you're training all of your muscle groups 2 to 3 times per week, and with that volume you're looking for like roughly 15 to 20 sets, I believe, per muscle group total for the week. And then splitting that up however that fits into your schedule, whether that's 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever that may be. Best advice with someone wanting to start macro tracking. So I would start with just tracking calories. That's usually easiest. But even before that, what I would actually recommend before all of that is one, just getting familiar with MyFitnessPal, the app, just getting familiar with the interface, where to find stuff, because the more comfortable you are using it, the easier it will be once you actually start focusing on the numbers. And really, initially, I would just start tracking what you already eat on a regular basis, not worrying about numbers at all, just tracking what you normally eat. And then that way you'll have an idea of how many calories you're already consistently eating. And then you'll actually have a better idea of where your calories need to be based off of how much you're already consistently eating. Because it doesn't make sense to be like, say you find out that you've been consistently eating 2,000 calories and you had calculated for yourself that you would be needing to eat 1,400. You don't really want to cut 600 calories down off the bat. That wouldn't be ideal. So it's helpful, and it helps you get into the habit of tracking, measuring out portions and things, and then you get into the numbers aspect. And the number one thing for staying on track with your numbers is pre-tracking. Like, that is the number one habit that my most successful clients have in common. And by successful, I mean being able to just be consistent. I'm not saying like who has the most extreme results by any means, because that's not how I judge progress either. So if you pre-track either the night before, the morning of, whatever time works best for you, if you track the whole day ahead of time, then you don't have to think about it as you go, because if you're trying to track as you go, you're going to be more than likely to end up at the end of the day either having gone way over or way under your calories, and neither one is good. So, is it Feven Seattle? Yes, hello. What was your favorite exercise? I love benching. I love bench press, and that will always be my number one love. So it's like the one thing that I don't like about Planet Fitness is they don't have any traditional benches. Like for bench press, they have, benches in the free weights area, but not like a barbell bench press. So I've been doing dumbbell bench, which I like dumbbell bench too, but barbell bench is like my baby, and I love it. Crystal, hello. Emery, you're a gorgeous gal. Oh, thank you. Fair Kiefman, hello. DS Jumbo, you're welcome. Patricia, thumbs up. Evolet. Benjamin, hello from Australia. All purple. Wait, what's purple? What's purple? No deal for what? I'm not sure what that means. Can I have a cheat meal once every week? I don't recommend doing cheat meals. The reason being that you could just incorporate those foods on a regular basis in moderation, because one, labeling the foods as cheat or bad or good versus bad, healthy versus unhealthy, junk versus clean, which whatever that means, it just doesn't help our relationship with food, and it just makes you feel more inclined to be like, oh my gosh, and you go overboard. And then when you go overboard, then you feel the need to restrict yourself, and then it's this dangerous cycle up and down, and then it can lead to disordered eating, which you don't want to have. So with that, instead, if you don't label things as good versus bad, you're like, okay, nothing is off limits. Like, I'm allowed to have all these foods. It's just a matter of, that doesn't mean you eat them every day. You're allowed to have them instead of the forbidden fruit idea. Then you have a healthy relationship with food. You're more likely to eat those things in moderation. You incorporate them regularly, because there's no reason to avoid foods unless you have like a medical condition or, like an allergy or something that requires you to make certain foods off limits. There's otherwise no reason to restrict them. The equipment at Planet Fitness. So I love the color purple, but I and I don't mind that aspect of it. I just have other issues with Planet Fitness in terms of I love that they made themselves affordable and accessible for people. I think that's amazing for it to be $10 a month. Like pretty much, most people can afford that. So, making it readily accessible for people who need, access to a gym, to be able to exercise. I think that's wonderful. And the fact that, the idea, bear with me, the idea is no judgment. But it's hypocritical because they say it's a no judgment zone and that you belong here, but only selectively, because then they have the lunk alarm where they have a very specific discriminatory statement specifically describing what a lunk is, which is literally discrimination. Like it's actual judgment on the wall, and then the wall next to it says judgment free zone. And I'm like, you can't have both. You just include all or not. So that's the one problem I do have with them. But otherwise I think it's great that they have like lots and lots of equipment. It's readily available for people. It's in like pretty much, if you travel, like it's everywhere. So if you have the Black Card membership or whatever, you're able to go to any location, which is nice if you're traveling. But yeah. Mauricio, hello. Tyrannosaurus Flex. What a name. Love it. Hello. Is it Havarji? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that means. Excuse me. Lina Zem, I learned a lot from your posts. They're so helpful. Thank you. Well, I'm really glad to hear that feedback. So thank you for letting me know. And thank you for being in my live stream. Yeah, I'm back. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Hello. My lips are kind of chapped, but I don't think I have my purse with my chapstick up here. Huh. Well, I'm gonna deal with chapped lips, I guess. I do have to get off here in like 5-10 minutes because I have a call in like 25 minutes or so. So I won't be on here too much longer. So if you do have questions, don't be shy. Happy to answer any of them. That's what I'm here for. So V to the Hope, hello. Hello. And Sid is at the hospital, still have no answer. Oh no! Are you going back there soon? How much water do you drink a day? That's so funny. This is the second time I had this question today, and I don't normally get this question. But I drink about 1 gallon a day, but that doesn't mean you have to drink 1 gallon a day. Pretty much as long as your urine is clear, you're drinking enough water. But yeah, I drink about 1 gallon. Ryan, my husband, always jokes that I'm a fish. So... Lynn, does adding water flavoring to all my water for the day still count as water intake, or do I need plain water? It still counts, like fluids count. So even your coffee, if you drink coffee regularly, like that still counts. If you drink tea, even if you drink like, diet soda or whatever it may be, those still count towards your fluid intake. But of course you do still want to have some plain water, I'm stoked AF. You chose the gram over Facebook. I'm not choosing it over Facebook. It's just until I sort that stuff out. Just in the meantime, I'll still be going live here. And I'm glad that, you guys do still come into my live streams here as well. Eric is staying with her tonight. I'll go back tomorrow afternoon. The rotations, man. My parents tell me all the time about like when I was in the hospital as a kid, and like, I'm grateful that I haven't had to deal with Izzy being in the hospital, but I can't even imagine, because, yeah, like my parents and my brother tell me about like how stressful it was for them, and that was like, that was when I was a baby, so I have no idea what that was like for me, so I can only imagine how that is. But I hope you get answers soon. I hope everything turns out okay, and they're out quickly. I hope Sid is out soon. So I'm only going to be live for, five more minutes until 9:15. I'm in Eastern time. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I will possibly probably come back on here and go live again after the call, depending on how long that goes. We'll see. It'd be after 10, most likely. So I don't know. We'll see. You look very golden today. That's because well, that means that the tan went well then. Yeah, I just rinsed off my self-tanner like an hour ago, so that's why. When was the last time you laughed so hard? Honestly, like today. My husband is, to me, the funniest person I've ever met in my entire life. So I feel lucky for that. Like every single day I laugh extremely hard, and I think that's really important. You know, the amount that you laugh and smile is a huge part of, obviously that's happiness. And I think it just, makes you live longer. So I laugh really hard every single day. Like even with long distance, he made me laugh every single day. So it was just the funniest person I know. Adri Vera Reyes, hello. So I'm only going to be live for a few more minutes, unfortunately, but we'll see about coming back on later. It would be after 10. Maybe not. Depends on how tired I am. I don't know. I can't make any promises. You gotta be kidding. Hi, Jesse. Husband goals, humor. Life is too hard not to laugh at it. Honestly, humor makes a really big difference. Like, especially, like, obviously sometimes, it's like you're like crying, but but he literally will have like something absolutely like ridiculous to say to make light of the situation, but it always works. Like, always works. I don't know, like, it always makes me laugh, like, regardless of like whatever it is. Like, it could literally be like, for example, a few years ago my car got stolen. RIP. It was my baby. It was new. Yeah, it was a lease, and I was so excited because it was like my first big girl purchase. Is that 3 years ago? Or fuck, is that 4 years ago now? Holy shit, that's 4 years ago now. Oh my god. Anyway, so it was 4 years ago, and I was freaking out. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't be? And like, I was freaking out, I was crying, but like, he literally, like, no matter what, just made me laugh. He's just like really, really, really good about staying calm in those situations, and always has something funny to say. So I do my best to be like that as well whenever something stresses him out, but honestly, that's pretty rare because he handles stress like a champ. So I'm very, very, very grateful for that. So true emotive answer, you have great character. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Girly, I'm so congested for tonight's call. I just sent you a PM. Oh, no worries. I'm so sorry that you're feeling congested. Honestly, like, things have, obviously, like, a lot of sicknesses have been going around lately. I don't blame you. I feel you. We can always reschedule. John, let's get hubby up on stage with a mic the next Seinfeld. That's funny you said that because Seinfeld is, like, one of his favorite shows. So we were watching The Office today at my parents' house, and like, I love that show so much. It's one of the best. If you don't like The Office, you just haven't given it a chance. That's what I think. Just saying. So. Is it, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna butcher this. Is it Diazieri? I'm so sorry, I just completely butchered that, but hello. Thank you for coming into my live stream. Would you say love is synergy? I don't really know if I could describe love very well. Ryan could definitely describe it very well. I think love is just like it just is. It just like is everything. Like, it's literally everything. Like, I think it's just the driving force for everything. Just like isn't everybody. It just, some people don't really access it very well just because of their upbringing, their environment, whatever it may be. But I mean, if you're talking about like being in love, I think being in love is a choice as well. Like to show up every single day and actually act on the love that you have for each other. I think that's a problem a lot, is that people kind of want it's just like quick fixes nowadays with everything. So like people think that if people just give up really quickly, and I totally understand there, you know, if there's toxic behaviors and things that you can't tolerate, absolutely cut it off. Like I get that, you know, you have to have boundaries. Boundaries are very important. But I think a lot of times people are too quick nowadays to be entitled, think they're entitled to something without giving. And it's, you have to give. Like love is about giving. Like that's literally it. Because, and then people are like, no, but then you're getting taken advantage of. It's like, no, because if you're actually in love and you're giving love, the other person is also giving you love. Like I'm not talking about empty, just empty giving love. Like if you give love and you can't give with expectation, because then there's strings attached, and that's what a lot of people do, and that's manipulation. So where did you get your water bottle? So I originally funny story, I originally got this at Home Goods. Had to think about that, and they had multiple colors and they had different sizes as well. This is the 40-ounce one. I love this water bottle. It's so nice. I'm gonna give you a little review. It was like $7 or something, and it's normally like a pretty expensive water bottle. And I got it because I'm like, oh, it's a nice size and it has a cap, whatever, like it's a little thing. But like once I started drinking out of it, I'm like, I love this thing because it has this like little twist cap. I don't even know how to describe this, but the spout is like, it's the perfect spout. Like it never comes rushing out. You know what I mean? When it's like, you know, like Nalgene bottles, like how like it's such a big mouth that like you have to pour it like very slowly in order to be able to drink it properly. Like this one, it like pours like just the right amount. That sounds so stupid, but it's true. So I love this. This is the brand. I don't know if they pronounce it like Takea or Takia, like, you know, take you anywhere. I have no idea. But anyway, so I got it and I loved it, and then lost it at the gym. Somebody took it. Like I literally left it at a machine, walked right back to it. It was gone. Later went over to, you know, like the front desk and was like, hey, has anyone turned it in? No. So I never showed back up. And I went back to Marshall's because I was so determined to get the same bottle again because I loved it so much. And they didn't have it anymore. Home Goods didn't have it anymore. So I had to get it on Amazon. And it was more expensive on Amazon. It was like $13, which is, I mean, it's only a few dollars difference. But this is the 40-ounce one. And they have a lot of pretty colors. So I recommend it. Okay. Now that I just gave you an in-depth review that you did not ask for. I just watched The Office yesterday for the first time in years, and it was the Pam and Jim wedding episode. Love that show. I love it. I think the first one that we watched today, because we watched a few, I think the first one that we watched today was the one where where Michael is dating Pam's mother, and she's really pissed, and it's so funny. I love it. Mr. King, appreciate the heart eyes. Enjoying someone's happiness more than your own. That's my definition. Yeah, I think it's important to like prioritize your own happiness, but like, yeah, like when somebody else's joy like brings you joy, and that, yeah, that's definitely a huge part of true love. Valte, hey dude, what's up? So true, you're always growing. Absolutely. Love your relationship talk, so real and not beat around the bush. Appreciate it. Hi, Belle. It's hard to find a perfect spout in this life. I'm telling you, it's underrated. This is honestly, I will say though, and it's going to sound silly, but like when you're taking like a vitamin or like a pill or something, not the best for that, because it is like, it's meant for like drinking, and like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, like when you're throwing back a vitamin or a pill or something to swallow, like you need like a lot of water at once. So this is not for that. It's not for throwing water back to take something. Use a glass for that. So I learned that the hard way. I had like a huge fish oil pill, you know, like those huge fish oil pills, and was like trying, it was not pretty. I had to like, I tried to swallow and then I had to like drink more water and I was like, ugh. So Cameron, moderation, lol. Moderation is key. Pretty much with everything. Fedoro, hello. Or Fedorov, Sergey. So sorry. Wouldn't it be nice if this just kind of like read names to me, but not like Siri, because Siri butchers names too. Like if it just, like read to me what your name was, that would be nice, because then I wouldn't butcher your name. Hilda, hello. What's up? So, do you think all life has the power to imagine? To imagine? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think for a lot of species, like there's like one thing to be able to like think, but to also be able to like create in your mind is like a different thing. Like a lot of animals, like it's like if maybe like dogs, like domesticated, like could, and cats, like they're able to like think about, because they have like reference and they don't have to worry about like survival instinct so much as like animals in the wild, where they just have to constantly be thinking in the moment. I don't know though. I mean, I have no idea. I don't know, like I just put out a word to try to help explain. Are we special like humans? I mean, I think in the sense of like what we're capable of, yes, like intellectually, but I don't think that puts us above other species. And I think that is kind of where we're at today, is that clearly we're not taking very good care of each other or other species or the planet. And yeah, I think empathy in all areas is very important, just in general, not just to humans. How much kilos, your weight? In kilos? I don't have a calculator in front of me, but I am roughly 116 to 118 pounds, so I believe that's like 50 kilos? Maybe like 52. I think it's like 52 or 53 kilos. Tell me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure it's like 52 or 53 kilos. Actually, imagination is what differentiates us from animals. Very cool. Learn something new every day. Gallagher, great simple advice. Appreciate that. Glad you agree. Darren. So, anyway, I think this is going to end on its own in like a minute or something, because it's been roughly an hour. But either way, I will take a little break because my lips are chapped. My mouth gets very dry, even from drinking water. But I'm sure you guys have better things to do. It's Saturday night. So we'll see. So, any last minute questions? Let me know. I feel like I have. Oh, wait. Do you spend more time on answered questions than unanswered? I don't understand that question. I'm so sorry. Do you mean like in my live streams? Or I don't think I'm understanding this. Eric, nope, I have nothing better to do. Well, that makes me feel special. So yeah, I'm sorry, Darren. I don't know if my mind's just like fried right now, but I'm not quite understanding. Hey, Chino, what's up? Hello. Oh, and by the way, just update for any people in here who have been in my past live streams where I talked about how shit my nails were after I got my acrylics taken off. And I was applying the Nail Envy. So I've had it on for 2 days now, and I swear to God, they're already growing. I couldn't even believe my eyes. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, quick fixes don't exist in life, but apparently they do for nails. So if you're suffering from nails that have had acrylic damage, apparently this shit works. So it was kind of expensive. So, but it's working. Like they're actually, like last time I was on here, they didn't go past my fingertips. So That's crazy. Right. In life. Oh, okay. Like just like pondering. I would say, so in terms, I mean, that's kind of hard to answer because I guess it depends on situation. But I guess in total, I definitely spend more time on like unanswered things, and that then obviously sometimes that can go negative and that can turn into anxiety because I'm thinking on the wrong part of what is unanswered in terms of like not working my bad. Like instead of like working through the situation and seeing it objectively, of course sometimes like if it's an emotional thing and it's an unanswered question and we're like trying to figure it out, we end up kind of going down the rabbit hole in a negative sense. So I would say that I sometimes do that. I'm usually pretty good about not staying stressed for a very long time though. Like when I get stressed, I can get like super tense and I can be really, really worried and be in like my bubble, but it's usually not for a very long time. But I would say the number one reason for that is because I have Ryan and he is extremely objective and can always help me with that. So he has helped me progress more than anything to be aware. So we talk a lot about just life in general. So we talk a lot about unanswered things, answered things, just like aliens, space, you know. So like I mean that's just like pondering life and stuff, but we talk mostly pretty deep things. I mean, so like obviously like for me, you know, it just like you know, when you get uncomfortable thinking about something that's stressful, it's usually because you haven't dealt with something internally. So that's usually what brings me stress is like, fuck, I need to figure this out. I need to be working on this aspect. And then, of course, that's scary to think about changing something that you're habitually doing, but it's necessary to be able to change in that way. And I think that is a major problem nowadays is that people aren't willing to change because that stupid Marilyn Monroe quote, which I don't even think came from her mouth, of like, if you can't accept me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Like, when people say that, I want to throw my water bottle that I love dearly through a window because it's toxic. If you can't face your toxic behaviors, if you can't accept them and understand that that would be hurtful to somebody else and you think that they just need to take that and be fine with it, no. Like, they can help you through it, but you need to be open about it and not just be like, take it or leave it, because then that's like, so you're expecting everything from them and you're not going to give anything to them. Man, I could go on for hours about that topic alone, but we're not going to do that. Bubbler, hello. Nerba, cool girl, hello. The rabbit buoy, hello. Is that supposed to be like a play on words, like the rabbit boy or like the rabbit buoy? Ash 143 Josh, hello ma'am, hello.
You had the time?
Yeah, no, she DM'd.
Got it.
Yes. Thank you though. Think out with rather than within. Distress mind remedy. And we have some characters here that I cannot read, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Bobby, hello. But anyway, like I mentioned, I am going to hop off now to take a break, and I'm going to come back. So if you have nothing better to do on a Saturday night, I'll be back. But I appreciate you guys being in here. I appreciate the great deep questions and everything. So I'll be back shortly to answer more questions, and I will see you later tonight. Or if I don't see you later tonight, have a great weekend.